Has your grief turned to joy? Welcome to Coffee with Pastor B live. You know, today is Good Friday, and so many times our focus is on Sunday. What's going on Sunday? And we have church services on Sunday, and we gather and meet as a family on Sunday, and we call Easter Sunday. And sometimes I think we forget a little bit about Friday, but Friday was essential as much as Sunday was essential. As a matter of fact, that's how our grief was turned to joy. As it says in John chapter 16 and verse 20, and Jesus is telling him this before he goes to the cross, and he says this in John 16 verse 20, "Truly, truly, I say to you, that you will weep and lament, but the world will rejoice. You will grieve, but your grief will be turned to joy." You know, on this day, this Good Friday, Jesus Christ was crucified. The trial was had, the cross was carried, the nails were pounded in. Jesus gave up his life for us. And it wasn't for nothing. No, it was for us. See, this was the only way we could find forgiveness in this world. It must have been somebody that came, lived the perfect life, paid the price that the law demanded of us. For the price of sin is death. And we see Jesus Christ has paid that price. Death on a cross was his price that he paid. But it wasn't for nothing. It was for us. It was for the forgiveness that we now have. It is for the salvation that we now possess. It is for the resurrection that comes on Sunday, for which we rejoice. It is how our grief has turned to joy. You know, sin in your life may be bringing you grief. It may be bringing you down. It may be bringing you heartache, for that's all that sin has the power to do. It may satisfy for a moment, but in the end, it only brings us grief. I'm here to tell you there is freedom from that. There is freedom from sin and from death, and that is found in Jesus Christ and his crucifixion. It is why we spend today, loving on him. It is why we spend today, and I recommend you do this with your family, in communion, in the discipline of communion, taking that communion. It is why we spend today giving glory to him for the price that he paid. And it was not for guilt or shame that he died for you. I want you to know that. It wasn't so that you would feel bad that he went to the cross. Sure, we must remember the price that was paid, but it was not for guilt and shame that he wanted you to hold on to. It was for the love that he paid the price. It was for love that he fulfilled the wrath of God's law. It was for love that he loved you enough to die for you. It was for love that he gave up his life. And so now our grief will be turned to joy. Our grief has turned to joy, and that is because of Resurrection Sunday. It's because death was not the end, but it was life that it brought. It was not death that he suffered for no reason. It was for the life that he would be resurrected to. It is for the life that you can be resurrected to. We no longer suffer at the hands of sin. We no longer suffer at the hands of death, for sin and death have been defeated, and our grief has turned to joy. You know, Carmen has a great song out there. It's called "Sunday is on the Way." In your life, you may have sin. You may have struggle, you may have strife, and it may seem like Friday night where grief has grabbed a hold of you, but I'm here to tell you that there is a hope, there is a joy, there is a peace, there is a love that comes in Jesus Christ. For it may seem like Friday night, but Sunday's on the way. I'm here to tell you that Sunday is on the way, that our grief can be turned to joy. And while we take today to remember the cross and the price paid, we remember that Sunday is on the way. And that Jesus Christ paid the price so that my grief may be turned to joy. In the instant that I remember, I am saved. I have eternal life. And I have it abundantly. And I have it free. Thanks for joining me for just a sip of coffee this morning and a look at the Word. God bless.